If there's one word that can be used to describe the Tao Te Ching, it'd be complex. For starters, you might hear about the mythology behind the book, how this wise sage named Lao Tzu wrote backwards on a water buffalo and a gate guard asked him to write down his ideas, and thus the Tao Te Ching was created. And while it'd be nice to believe that every word of this book came from the same mind, scholars tend to favor the idea that this was a collaborative effort. This is important to keep in mind because, like the Analects, multiple authors could lead to ambiguity, contradictions, and an absence of a clear logical argument. If the multiple authors thing wasn't enough, the Tao Te Ching is one of the most widely translated texts in the world, with translations varying in extraordinary ways. Now this might sound intimidating for some, but as my Taoist professor said, relax. Just pick up the book and let the ideas speak to you. Play around with those ideas, talk about those ideas, and try to live those ideas. But I know, you want something to start with. Well, not to worry, friends, because today we're diving into the mystery of what the Tao even is. Hello friends, welcome to Philosophy Tunes. Now like I said in the intro, there are many different translations of the Tao Te Ching, and although I'd recommend you test drive a couple out for yourself, the one I'll primarily use is the translation by D.C. Lau, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So to start our discussion of what the Tao is, let's take a look at how it has been translated and thought about. This is from Book 1 of the Tao Te Ching, literally the first thing you read. The way that can be spoken of is not the constant way. The name that can be named is not the constant name. The nameless was the beginning of heaven and earth. The named was the mother of the myriad creatures. Alright, so let's unpack this step by step. So here, Tao is translated as way, and this is a pretty typical translation. Way might imply some sort of path, kind of like a trail in the forest. I mean heck, even a McDonald's drive-thru is kind of a way in some sense. But Tao means so much more than that. The quote tells us that the Tao is the beginning of heaven and earth. This would imply something magnificent and large. Actually, forget large. This Tao thing is infinite, probably. The Tao is something that began the universe, and not only that, is connected to the universe. Here's a diagram of how I see it. The universe and everything in it is a part of the Tao, but the Tao is not confined to just the universe. But okay, if Tao is this great, magnificent thing, then why use the word way? Well, one might think of Tao as the way of things. What things exactly? Everything. Not only everything in this universe, but everything beyond. Literally everything. This is one of those instances where the word literally actually has power. No, you're not literally gonna die if you don't get Chick-fil-A, Catherine. But everything is literally the way of the Tao. But if this doesn't sound super concrete, then don't worry, cause it's not really supposed to. You see, consider the next part of the quote. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. So whatever we call this thing that is responsible for everything, it would be insufficient to fully capture it. We just call it Tao or the way out of convenience. But why is this? Why should this thing be nameless? The big reason is because the Tao is this massive, mysterious thing, and words are used to limit and specify. Think about this. Think about a romantic partner of yours. Or if you don't have one, just imagine you... Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to rub it in or anything. It's just... So you got this love of your life. Can you really boil down your feelings towards this person through words? Even if I gave you a large stack of paper and pencils, do you really think you could fully capture your feelings towards this person? Or is your affection for this person something you can't specify with words? Like what if you were told, hey, I love you because of your style and your sense of humor. Sure, it's a nice compliment, but you might be thinking in the back of your head, that's it? What about the time I took us to Olive Garden? Does my generosity not matter? Wouldn't you rather be told I love you without any specifying and limiting extra words? When you use words, you specify and limit. And the Tao is this thing that's so large and great that it can't be limited by our language. Now you might be thinking, even if I can't express it into words, can I still comprehend the Tao? Well, there have been attempts to, but I prefer to err on the side of humility. Consider this other translation of the same passage by Godard. The Tao that can be understood cannot be the primal or cosmic Tao, just as an idea that can be expressed in words cannot be the infinite idea. I know we've all been told that learning is good, and hey, my channel would be obsolete if that weren't the case. But at the same time, do we know when to stop? I mean, is there an endpoint to learning, or do we just learn forever about everything? Wouldn't it help to acknowledge something that we can maybe never fully understand? In this sense, the Tao humbles us as people who have a desire to know. Kinda like that Soviet lady at the end of Indiana Jones 4 who gets her eyes incinerated. That'll probably happen to you if you fight to try and grasp the Tao. Okay, probably not, but you'll end up frustrated. Instead, embrace the fact that you don't know. Embrace the intellectual humility. One who knows does not speak. One who speaks does not know. So intellectual humility is just one practical takeaway from the Tao. But another I want to mention is this interconnectivity between everything. So if the Tao is not only the universe but everything in it as well as everything not in it, that means that every single person in the world is connected to this thing. Do you think that maybe believing in this interconnectivity might lead someone to be kinder to others? Instead of dividing people up even to an individual level, does believing in the Tao imply a sense of unity amongst us as human beings? I don't know. Some pragmatic food for thought regarding the Tao. Anyway, hopefully I was able to explain what the Tao is and also why I can't really explain what the Tao is. Don't you love this ambiguity? It's fun to play with though, really. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like button. Let me know which translation of the Tao Te Ching you're reading, and I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day.